goes without saying that each project tasks requires a start and a finish date. But our finish dates can often be somewhat flexible. So how do we communicate particular tasks that have a hard finish date, or in other words, a deadline? Well, Microsoft Project's deadline option constraint or option feature can really be a big help here. So in this video, we'll look at how to assign a deadline and look at the various features that can help you communicate deadlines throughout your project schedule. Task deadlines can be applied to any task within Microsoft Project. In fact, they can even be assigned to summary tasks, tasks themselves, and or milestones. So in this particular example, let's say that we've been given a directive that the pre-parting planning complete milestone here, it can finish on the 18th of November, but we've been given a directive that it's going to have to be completed no later than the 30th of November. So in other words, this is a deadline that we've been given from the project committee. So how do we go about doing this? Well, simply double click in order to bring up the task information. Now the keyboard shortcut is Shift F2 if you like your keyboard shortcuts. And we move from the General tab to the Advanced tab here. And you'll notice here that we have Constrained Task, Deadline. Now, at this particular point, no deadline's been assigned. So let's assign a deadline according with our instructions for November 30. So we scroll along, November 30, which is a Saturday. 9 times out of 10, we're probably going to want to choose a weekday for a hard deadline, not a weekend, because weekends are non-working days in this particular scenario. So we might choose the 29th of November and then simply click OK. And after doing this, you'll notice that there is a new little symbol showing on our Gantt chart page, which is an upside down green arrow, which identifies the point on the timeline on the Gantt chart as to where that deadline is, which being the 29th of November. So you'll agree that this gives us a nice little visual indicator to show where we are currently on the project plan with regards and compared to the deadline. Now you might wonder what happens when you exceed that deadline. Are we given any notification of any sort? Well, let's look at this together. Say for instance, we exceed some of these tasks, change this task from 5 to 10 days. We're getting closer. Let's change another one from 5 to 10 days. And you'll notice that we have exceeded it. You'll notice that our deadline is now before the actual planned date of that milestone. But do you notice what extra little bit of information Microsoft Project gives us when this occurs? In our ID column, we see alert, exclamation mark, showing when we hover over it that this task goes past its deadline being the 29th of November. So you'll agree that having alerts like this can be very, very useful, particularly when you've got a large project schedule with a lot of information going on. Now I've gone ahead and placed deadlines, or in other words, those little green arrows, against all of my milestones for this project. So you can quickly see that they are very, very useful in showing where the project is in comparison with unmovable deadlines that should not be negotiated. But if we go a little further, you can actually bring up the deadline date by assigning a new column to show where those deadlines are. And straight away you can see where the deadlines are compared to the finish dates. And these could be particularly useful when you want to share essential information or summarized information with project management staff. So for example, if we just wanted to show the milestones, we could quickly go up to Filter, Show Milestones, and straight away we have very easy to follow Gantt chart. In fact, it can be even more easier if we tidy this up by removing the summary tasks. And there you have a very, very neatly summarized schedule as to where you are when compared to your deadlines. Thank you for watching. All the very best with your project management. Please subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.